Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 3 of the night. We've got ourselves SurgarDaddy on the blue side, facing off against Jade Kronlocxs on the red side. A pretty cool name, if I say so myself.
I haven't heard that one in a long time.
Jade Kronlocxs. And we'll see what bands are going to come out. We have seen a handful of these players already play tonight. Xeno, as well as Asana and Caboose. Whereas for the side of SurgarDaddy, we've got Intra and Hero back. However, Commander C, Doc Shocker, no free names. Welcome. And maybe next time, winning 30, we can get you into one of these. Violet TV. That is an excellent question. There you go. All right. As these are custom games that we shoutcast every Tuesday and Thursday night. And these are free play games that anyone can join. We've got the Irelia, the Thresh banned away as the Karthus, and the Kale taken away from both sides respectively, banning away Cody's Thresh as he is playing on the Caboose account. I'm not sure if Irelia is against Dive, maybe. And the Morgana also banned away against Cody. So they're really picking off Cody's champions at this point.
Yeah. I think it's since we're doing Cody night, since Cody is being honored on the stream, we can't allow him to have any fun. That's the idea. I think it's effective. What do you think?
No fun. Yeah, it's his birthday tomorrow, so no fun today.
Exactly. Save up all the fun right now. So we're trying to steep him in misery at the moment. And if he's miserable right now, then at that point he's gonna be. By contrast, his birthday will be great because it was like today was terrible, right? Is that how this works?
No.
Dang it! I'm terrible at this.
That's all right.
I wonder what. I don't think that's good relationship advice either. Hey, honey, your birthday's tomorrow, so today's gonna be terrible. So tomorrow, by contrast, I haven't planned anything special for you tomorrow.
As long as it's not today.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make your day terrible today, so that tomorrow feels awesome. And that way, you won't even remember that I didn't do anything special for you. This is the best relationship advice you'll ever get. And you heard it here on XLNC Shoutcasting.
All right. Well, they wanted me to drop that new Drift logo that they have in Dive, asking for it. So there you go. Making sure that everyone gets the fancy Drift Esports logo in for your viewing pleasure. As we've got the Vel'koz, Yorick, and Lux locked in by the side of SurgarDaddy. Pretty good distance engaged from the Vel'koz and the Lux. Yorick kind of that split pusher on that top side, as Urgot, Rakan, and Zed locked in from Jade Kronlocxs, getting a variety. You got the engage from the Rakan, the assassination Zed, the 5v5 teamfight from Urgot. They're kind of getting a little bit of everything at this point.
Yep. I'm just... Every time, like, it's gonna confuse me every time that we do these different names, because I still have this long list of, okay, all of these different people are Cody. And then every time we say the name of the team, I'm like, wait, I thought Cody was on the other... Oh, okay. Anyway, so we've got the Urgot, who's still strong. We've got the Rakan, who's still garbage. They gave him a little bit of a buff, but he's still in a pretty sorry state at the moment. But if played well, can still be a terror. He's not as good as he was, though. But Commander C21 grabbing the Vel'koz at the moment, and we're going through the second round of bans right now. But the Lux as well as the Vel'koz, it's a lot of long-range poke, as well as Doc Shocker grabbing the Yorick, and that is going to make him, like, top lane is going to be a split push, that type thing. I'm wondering if the Jax is going to be locked in, just because that is a very strong counter matchup, as was showcased in NA so very well during the first TSM and Liquid meeting. Impact getting absolutely destroyed by Broken Blade on that Jax.
So with the Zed pickup from Kronlocxs, there's some pretty good people to hit with that ultimate. The Lux, the Vel'koz, both incredibly squishy. Add Caitlyn to that list as well as Intra hovers the Ziggs. So a lot of opportunity for that assassination to be pretty strong on squishier targets if you can get through that barrage of spells that'll be flying in every time you're on the screen, because there's going to be a lot of them flying around. It is a Lux support with that Caitlyn, so huge amounts of poke in that bottom lane. You think the Lux binding into the Caitlyn trap headshot combination, Piltover Peacemaker to top it all off. And with the Rakan and Corki being your bottom laners so far for Kronlocxs, though Corki could no, Zed most likely in the mid lane. It's going to be Corki ADC. The best thing that they have going for them is the level 6 Rakan engage with the Corki's rockets. But pre-6, Corki's so short range in his general auto attacks outside of his Phosphorus Bomb that I'm really thinking like the Caitlyn and Lux can just safely poke from a distance and kind of harass them out of lane, push them underneath their own turret.
Yeah, I have been seeing Corki bottom lane a good bit recently. He's kind of coming back into bot lane meta, though I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or not. I wasn't terribly impressed the couple of times that I did see it. So your points are very valid. He's very short range. He has a decent amount of burst, and he's not bad at the early level. But against somebody like a Caitlyn, even back in Season 3 when he was still, pretty good in bot lane, Caitlyn was always a really strong counter to him. So we'll see how that ends up getting playing out in the actual game. We've got Rakan, Corki versus Caitlyn and Lux.
Also to note, it is an Urgot in the jungle for the side of Jade Kronlocxs going up against Intra in the jungle with the Kindred. So let's go ahead and break down the champions and their players before we get to analyzing them. For the side of SurgarDaddy for game number 3, we've got Commander C2121. Welcome back. He said he's doubled his talent since we last saw him on the stream, taking Vel'koz once again. We'll see what he can do with it in the mid lane. As Doc Shocker grabs the Yorick for the top lane, no free names, takes the Lux in the supportive role, but has that Ignite for extra added aggression. Hero with the Caitlyn in the AD carry role, and Intra grabbing Kindred for the jungle.
And for the side of Jade Kronlocxs, we've got Zeno taking Echo in the top lane. Yes. Asana on Urgot in the jungle. Dive taking Zed in the mid lane. Otter grabbing Corki for the bottom lane ADC role. And Caboose going with Rakan in the bottom lane supportive role. For those of you who don't know, Caboose is Cody.
Yes, indeed, as Roy is Asana, I do believe. So that's going to be most of the Drift crew on Jade Kronlocxs' side, though I am curious as to whether or not Roy actually changes his tag to join the Drift crew as well or not. Either way, looking at the compositions, you got a kind of 1-4 from SurgarDaddy, a little bit, lots of poke. Kindred to make sure if they get engaged upon in the 1-4, they've got that ultimate to kind of reset their health. However, for the side of Jade Kronlocxs, they're all over the place. You got the engage from the Rakan, you got some, I suppose, engage out of the ultimate from Corki, but also some distance poke with the rockets. Assassin, Zed, and Echo. Urgot to be a tanky frontline late game. What do you make of the mess that is Jade Kronlocxs' team?
I think it's exactly that. A really big mess. If they don't win lanes, they're going to have a lot of problems in late game. Yorick split pushing gets really strong toward the later stages of the game, and Echo does fall off. I think Caitlyn should beat Corki just in lane, and then it gets even worse as the game goes on. Just Caitlyn has a lot easier time getting access to fights, but of course having both an Echo and a Zed is going to be a lot of pressure onto her. Also a good amount of pressure onto the Vel'koz there. Dive probably going to have a pretty easy time in the mid lane if he can get past Commander C's poke and get onto the actual champion. Vel'koz is so squishy.
Another thing to keep in mind, that Kindred ultimate can save an ally. However, Urgot's ultimate can turn that around. If he's able to land the chains, he can drag someone out of the Kindred ultimate and clean them up for his team, getting the fear as well. So I'm thinking that this game looking to be in favor of Jade Kronlocxs overall, as you were talking about the Corki and stuff, and the late game of the Urgot in those 5v5 fights, that his strength is truly paramount. However, SurgarDaddy, it is on them to actually land the spells, because if Lux is able to land her bindings, if Vel'koz can land his knock-up, there's some really good opportunities for SurgarDaddy to turn a fight around before it really ever gets started. Kind of like a pick comp, but more disengaged. However, if they miss those spells, it's not going to look good for them.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I'm actually seeing a really strong 4-1 comp from SurgarDaddy, because you have the AoE ultimate from Lux, you have the main thing is going to be the Kindred ultimate as their team fight saber, so to speak. Because if the 4 are grouped up and an assassin goes for a pick on them, then Kindred drops the ultimate, resets the fight, and then you have a lot of sustained DPS between Kindred and Caitlyn, and then you have the ultimate from Vel'koz. So there's a lot of AoE and sustained DPS coming through from them, as well as the fact that Yorick in the top side is going to be split pushing and should be able to deal with Echo fairly easily as the game goes later. But you do have the assassination type comp, which I'm expecting to get ahead a little bit earlier. If Zed gets very far ahead of Vel'koz, then Vel is just not going to have a good time of it at the mid lane. Oh, I could easily see a 6-0 Zed or a 6-0 Vel'koz for that matter, depending. Zed has a lot of mobility, but he's also a melee range champion who, of course, have a very hard time playing into the Vel'koz in the mid lane.
The range and the poke and all of the above. We'll see what these players can do. It is game number 3 on the Rift loading in. I really want to see how Commander C does on this Vel'koz, but even more, this Yorick in the top side with that split push. He's one of those champions that has even made an appearance in that pro play, as we've talked about, and can be incredibly strong, not only splitting, but also joining his team fights, getting the Maiden of the Mist, sucking away people's health. He's got those Mistwalkers as well to deal a lot of damage. I want to see how he does, but he's going to have to deal with an Echo solo and get through the laning phase against AP burstier duelist. I don't know. That's what I refer to Echo a little bit as. Oh, first blood from Dive! He's got the shurikens down into the Yorick's back. All right, not quite that exciting. Just a little bit of poke damage.
I thought you were ahead of me, like a lot ahead of me.
Nah, I'm just having a bit of fun.
Relogging. Wonderful.
This is what we needed for game number 3. Hyping it up. We've got a relog, baby. Let's go. Also, kind of Jade Kronlocxs or the Drift crew to go ahead and be in the LCS order, making our lives a little bit easier. Looking like things are fixed, so we're jumping right back into game. However, Dive has positioned himself fairly far forward, so should be able to get a little more damage onto the Yorick if he walks in. Nice Q coming out from that Vel'koz. Actually, only hit Otter and didn't even do that much damage. So just
it actually hit them both. It just procced Guardian.
Ah. Well, hey, that Guardian will be down for a little bit. They should have it back up by the time they get into lane and are doing any crazy harassment.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting. I haven't seen a jungle Urgot in a long time, but definitely viable as he does scale very well. Generally, putting anybody who scales well into the jungle can be a pretty good and lucrative way of doing it, because usually late game scalers have terrible early games. So how do you avoid a terrible early game? Stick them in the jungle with wards surrounding them and let them play PvE for 10 minutes, and then when they get past their suckiness, then let them go into lane and kill people. Wow, Caboose with the really aggressive just walk up and smack him with the cape.
Just slap him. Hero getting a little bit of harassment, auto attack damage down. It's looking like Urgot is going to be taking away that Scuttle Crab on the bottom side river to start things off. Keep in mind, Kindred's mark is on this top side Scuttle Crab, so both junglers will probably be rushing their way up there. In the bottom lane, nice and knock up. However, Khan's taking a lot of damage on his way out. He's going to have to flash. The flash forward from the Caitlyn as well. Misses the Piltover Peacemaker, though, so Ignite will not take him down, and now Hero in trouble. Burns the heal as well. Auto flashing forward, trying to get the last couple Gatling gun shots down. Hero does live, though, so a lot of spells burned. In fact, all but Ignite on the side of Jade Kronlocxs. Bit of a 1v1 as Intra is going to be jumped on by Xeno. However, Xeno's losing out on the fight because the red buff from Intra. He flashes away the flash forward from Intra, but into the arms of the Urgot. Kindred still gets the kill, and now going to be taken down. So it's just a 1-for-1 trade. Both jungler and top laner falling respectively.
Yeah, but that is very worth it for the Kindred, who is a late game scaling champion and gets the extra 100 gold from the first blood. Gets to go back. Unfortunately, is going to lose that red buff, but does get the extra XP as well as the extra money. Meanwhile, Xeno has to spend teleport to come top lane. So what I'd really like to see is, since he's already on this side of the map, let the Echo shove out. The wave's already reset. Then come top again. Maybe make him blow. No, he blew flash as well. So that's definitely going to be a very gankable lane.
Oh, Caboose taking a lot of poke on that bottom side. Rakan needs to play on the safe side. He's still got Ignite, but if they stick around, they're just going to continue to lose out on farm as Caitlyn is slowly pushing this lane. Wanted to mention very briefly, Kindred missed out on that mark on the Scuttle Crab on the top side, but I think Echo is actually the one who stole it away. And with that miss, also did not get the mark onto the Echo. Probably was on Urgot. And thus this Kindred started the game with 0 marks, so we really want to keep our eyes on how long it takes this Kindred to get to that desired 4 marks. Urgot coming around to the bottom side, knowing that his bottom laners are under heavy amounts of pressure. We'll see what he can do. He's forcing the Caitlyn Lux to walk back at the moment. He's not going to go forward any further as he's walked over a ward, but Zed is around the corner as well, maybe roaming down here.
Yeah, and it does look like... Oh, the flash forward!
Oh, got the toss back as well. Here are going to fall. The burst from Dive. And Ignite ticks down. No free names. What damage out of this Zed. 2 kills to Jade Kronlocxs when things were looking a little bit iffy as to whether or not they would make the play. Beautifully done.
Yeah, definitely a good roam down from the mid lane when the Vel'koz had gone back and assumed that his lane opponent had done the same, but instead it is a roam from the Zed coming down to the bot side and picking up an easy kill, and that could bode very badly for the rest of this laning phase. There's definitely the possibility for Zed just snowballing like crazy.
Oh, the Kindred next mark is on this top Riverside Scuttle Crab, so Urgot's going to head up there, joined by the Zed as well. They're going to try to catch out the Kindred, though. Intra just walks into her own death. Dive at the moment, waiting on a couple of cooldowns, has the shurikens, flashes away, but Intra's actually found the kill. Are you kidding me? All of those tumbles.
Level 3 on 1.
The Urgot, however, walking away at the moment, going to be joined by the Echo. They should still take this Scuttle Crab, make sure the Kindred doesn't get that. But Vel'koz is going to be joined with the TP from the Yorick as well. They might try to shove in onto the Echo and Urgot. 3 members to 2. We talked about a game in numbers. However, when they see they lost the Scuttle Crab, they go to back away. Intra tossing out the Wolf over the wall, getting Gatling gunned down by the Urgot. I would say loses out on that trade. Doc Shocker in the tri-brush. Xeno getting a little bit of a slow. Doc Shocker's got the wall at the moment. However, he's finding himself 1v2. Intra finally shows up, but it's only a level 5 on this Kindred. There's no level 6. Doc Shocker flashes in, gets the last bit of damage to take the Echo down. So it's a 1-for-1 at the moment, but Juan trying to step forward. He's a level down to Intra. The Intra, very low health, has to back away. And Urgot's continuing to chase. Double snare in the bottom lane. Double built over Peacemaker. The crit shot from the Caitlyn. Hero slays in the top lane. The Urgot gets the kill onto Kindred, but gives his own life over in trade. So many 1-for-1s. But in the end, with that bottom lane kill as well, SurgarDaddy actually wins out in the fight.
Yeah, and the main thing is that was a 600 gold shutdown to the Kindred, who now has 2 kills, and I don't know if that gave over a mark. I don't think it did. But let's take a look at this bot side fight real quick.
Hold on. Dive's going in. He's going to be knocked down by the turret. Sorry, that was just as you were trying to check back in what happened previously. Dive kind of ints underneath the turret on the bottom side. Doesn't even get a kill for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the double snare into the double Piltover Peacemaker, into all the damage, just a lot of kill shots landing in that bot side, and this is the Corki having a little bit of a difficult time, but he is up CS. Otter doing a good job in the bot side, maintaining his CS numbers despite the fact that he's been under a good amount of pressure.
All right.
Meanwhile,
go ahead.
Hero just trying to farm up the best he can. 40 minions at 8 minutes is actually kind of really bad. But that's where the CS numbers in most of the people are. Typically, you want 10 CS a minute, though.
Well, that shows how much fighting these teams have been doing, roaming around the map, making these trades, trying to find these kills. The kills are outscaling the minutes at the moment, and that's what shows you what these teams are focusing on. And ever so lightly, SurgarDaddy's actually pulled into the lead in gold because of it. As they have that poke composition, they can layer some of that damage a bit more effectively, whereas Jade Kronlocxs really needs to pull the trigger on a very aggressive play. Hero AFK in the bottom lane, starting to walk away, may have been typing to a teammate, but now may lose his life for it. The Ignite comes down. Don't know if that's going to be enough. In the meantime, Xeno ulting to bring back a lot of health. Intra trying to escape, but the red buff is ticking down. Looks like Intra will be able to walk away for now. So fights close on the top and bottom side, but no kills between those skirmishes.
Wow. The ability to hold that ultimate down to, I think he hit 50 HP and still didn't ult. That nerves of steel right there from Intra. But does manage to force out Xeno's ultimate as well, so Doc Shock are going to have a much easier time finding all-ins if he so desires.
Checking in on the plates at the moment, there is only 1 plate apiece between the two teams. Again, referencing back to their focus being far more on these fights, as Urgot, joined by the Rakan, does pick up the first Drake for Jade Kronlocxs, so small advantage to them. Dive trying to dodge out on this poke from Commander C. However, low mana on this Vel'koz as well, so keep that in mind. Kindra on the top side, gonna go in for a play onto Xeno. Echo trying to dash away. He's outside of the wall, still losing a ton of health, and Intra's got massive damage. Picks up the 4th kill of the game. Says, you know what? I don't need marks. I can find kills. Sitting at only 2 marks at the 10-minute. That is not what you want on Kindred.
That's actually not that bad. You're typically going to be hitting your 4th mark at around 18 to 20 minutes.
Really? I don't think it was that late in the game.
So long as you have your 4 marks before.
Oh, disintegration. Rayz's trying to make the play. Goes in. Does get taken down. Intra going to go ahead and ult. Trying to wait time for flashing over the wall. I think has been able to escape from the Urgot. But in that mid lane, Dive just took a bit too much poke. Went down to the disintegration ray despite a really crazy play. I don't even... Did he flash ult forward? His flash looks like it's up, but it may be a graphical error. Yeah, his flash just came off of cooldown. In the bottom lane, Lux Laser going to miss everyone. Otter going to go in looking for damage onto Hero. The Caitlyn goes golden. Should be dropped as Otter perfectly times that last rocket. No free names. Forced to flash away to safety underneath the turret. So another kill from Jade Kronlocxs bottom lane. Going to be the first kill for the Corki.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of those games that is just a bloodbath. Pretty much every minute we're getting a kill, sometimes more. We're in the middle of an analysis, and suddenly somebody else is dead. Stop dying, guys.
Or gets very close to dying. Bottom lane turret. A couple plates are being knocked off. Kindred's around the corner, though. The carry potential for SurgarDaddy. 4-2-0. 420 blaze it every day. Just kidding. Urgot and Echo on that top side, making sure they keep complete control over these Scuttle. Crabs the play into the mid lane onto Commander C, dropping him low. The burst comes out from the Echo stun and damage. Vel'koz drops, tying us up in gold.
And he had flash, so unfortunately, not respecting the Echo stun, doesn't just flash it, but takes the stun and instantly goes down. Echo, I think, picking up that kill. In the bottom, Hero definitely having some issues underneath his own turret.
Oh, the flash from Caboose trying to make the play. He doesn't have the ultimate, though, so he gets dropped. His Lux was hiding in the brush, potentially waiting for that. Juan in that top side going to be taking a bit of damage, trying to 1v1 against Doc Shocker on that Yorick. He's getting a lot of heals back. The Blast Kill going to be used to disengage. The Urgot walks away. Good fight from Doc Shocker.
Yep. And right now, every time he takes one of these fights, the Urgot just keeps... no, he's managed to catch up in levels. He is level 8 now, but there was one point in the game where he was 2 levels down his opposition. Intra going to pick up his own red buff, and that'll probably mean he'll be looking for ganks pretty soon. On the top lane, Xeno having a little bit of a problem against this Yorick, who is just going to continue getting bigger. It's not as bad as playing against something like a Nasus, but it does get pretty oppressive in the late game. You do a lot of damage.
Intra gonna find himself 1v3 here very shortly. Gonna get jumped on by multiple members. Last rocket from the Corki. I believe had the ultimate, didn't even use it, knowing that it was unlikely he'd be able to escape. And that's what you get for invading on the wrong side of the map without vision. Which at this point, as we're coming up onto the 14-minute mark, keep in mind Rift Herald still available for either team, and dropping that on a turret with no plates can secure you a quick turret, even if you've lost out on getting all that plate gold.
Definitely. Hold on, we've got a big roam, and the flash comes out. This time, Commander C, learning from his previous mistakes, flashing even before he was under any real threat.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to flash early and just kind of go ahead and force that enemy team to walk away. Yeah, it sucks to have that flash down. You're going to have to play safe until it comes back up, but you stay alive. As you said, learning from the last time he got jumped upon with that super aggressive Zed, who just continues to love going forward and forward, and his score line shows it quite well. DRF dive 1-3-1. Yeah, not surprising there. There's the ultimate, though, from the Urgot onto Commander C. They're trying to slow and get enough damage for the Urgot to go ahead and pull that Vel'koz back in. He goes golden. The timing won't matter. And Zed picks up the kill. I thought that going golden with the stopwatch, or the Zhonya's, it's actually now completed. I think it was just the stopwatch before, was to wait for the Urgot ultimate to time out before he came back out. But either way, with that flash burned, quick kill from Jade Kronlocxs.
Yeah, both the Urgot and the Zed ultimates were used right there, so the Zhonya's Hourglass definitely a good answer to them. But unfortunately, too many members, too close, and he does still fall. And the reason for that repeat gank was the flash was blown, so Drift Juan just commits the ultimate from really long range just so they can get the slow for the gap closed, knowing he doesn't have any way to escape, and they get a kill for their trouble.
Kendria trying to steal the Mountain Drake away. Lux ultimate gonna come through. Intra even ulting himself and steals away the Mountain Drake. Hops the wall as well. Intra gets out 1v4 with the Drake steal. Unbelievable.
That was really, really, really clean. That was... I always like watching a Drake steal, and sometimes it's worth trading your life over depending on the Drake, but getting the Drake and getting back out, well done. Hold on. Xeno and Doc Shocker fighting again. Xeno running out of mana, Doc Shocker running out of minions, but Xeno also running out of HP. Doc Shocker going to regen back up, but every time you take a trade against a healer, you have to think that as long as they can heal back up and you can't, there's going to be problems. He's going to run out of corrupting pot charges pretty soon.
Oh, a lot of damage from the Corki. He's got the AoE. He actually goes forward aggressively, trying to flash in and finish off. No free names. The last rocket doesn't matter, but Hero's going to get the trade. No, it's a 1-4-2 as Corki will 1v2 in the bottom lane. Gives his own life over, but picks up both the Caitlyn and the Lux. Rakan not even pushing the lane. Great play. Ultimate going to miss from Urgot on this top side. Zed's still going to come in anyway. Oh, interesting. The flash from Doc Shocker. He's going to go down. Urgot nicely tanking up the turret for that Zed.
Yep, and Zed just going to get the solo kill onto the Yorick. But Intra is up here, and Commander C, the flash going to come out from Dive. The flash forward from Intra. It's looking like he's got the dash, and he's got the slow. The ultimate comes down. He needs one more shot to trigger his E, but he's not going to get it. The Q is not back up, and that is going to be just a fizzle right there. Trade of summoner spells, but nothing else. Hold on, Xeno's in here and wants to make something more of it.
Commander C dropping down. Should be a quick kill, even with that barrier used by Commander C. Doesn't even need the last bit. Hold on, Otter's going to join as well to try to jump onto Intra. One rocket's going to miss, but the Gatling gun's going to be enough to take down that Kindred. And yeah, I love the recommitment from Jade Kronlocxs on that top side. The disintegration ray was down from the Vel'koz, so they were able to find themselves 2 kills. They lose their bottom lane turret, as you said, first turret over, but they can grab the Rift Herald in trade.
They might lose the second, though. I don't know about you, but I don't feel particularly threatened by a Rakan. However, a Zed, that's a little more threatening.
Oh, he's going to go into quickness from the Rakan, trying to charm up everyone. The Caitlyn falls. They've gotten themselves that one siege pusher of the Caitlyn, and they back away. As with that Rift Herald in the mid lane, they're going to pick up 1 second turret to the Echo on the top side. 3,000 gold lead for Jade Kronlocxs, and they're looking to secure themselves a pretty good lead at this point. Mid lane only down to about half. Yorick coming into the mid lane, drops the bait into the mist, looking for the slow. Won't find it onto Juan. The Urgot goes forward aggressively. Entrance here as well, getting a good bit of damage. Drops the Urgot to about half, but Caboose and Dive are here. Disintegration ray onto 2 members. Lux all gonna go by, but the Urgot's already found the Yorick in his ultimate. Grinds him down. Kindred's gone. No free names will fall as well. Commander C to top it all off, and despite multiple blinking health bars, Jade Kronlocxs walk away with all members still alive.
Yeah, if Lux hits that ultimate, then that's a very different fight. There were 3 members lined up for a perfect. Oh, hold on. Oh, Dive outplays himself.
That's the problem when you got one member going right and another member going left. They cross paths a bit too much, and the ace in the hole flies past. I wondered if that was going to happen. That's actually, I moved the camera to focus just on the Caitlyn to watch and see if she was going to ace in the hole. And yep, that's a bit unfortunate for the side of Jade Kronlocxs. However, they're still in a massive lead, 4,000 gold. They've got overall pressure on the map, couple control wards around the Baron that will be spawning just shortly. And let's check in very quickly on what this next Drake is, an Infernal Drake, to spice this matchup a little bit more.
Infernal Drake, one that's going to be loved by everybody on this map. Urgot likes damage. The only one who doesn't really like it is Cody on the Rakan. Rakan's ratios are not very inspiring. But no free names, Commander C, all really going to like it.
Xeno trying to pop no free names. The Lux, however, able to get out alive for the moment with that shield. Zed going to be jumping over the wall with the Living Shadow, who actually considers and backs away from it. And now Xeno, with the ultimate, gets a lot of his health back as Caboose doing his best job to save his teammate. The ultimate from the Urga grinds down the Kindred. Once again, the Lux ult going to miss, and the Vel'koz ultimate basically gets whiffed. He's forced to flash over the wall. Xeno deciding not to chase. Yorick split pushing on this top side. The distraction from SurgarDaddy has worked so far. However, the Infernal Drake goes over to Jade Kronlocxs. They will win out on this trade so far, as they've already been able to pick up 1 kill on the enemy team jungler. Urgot looking like he may be starting the Drake up, however, still situated against that wall. Going to be clearing wards instead, tanking up this Infernal Drake's damage.
Does not even care. And yeah, the Infernal, let's see. No, the Kindred is down at the moment, so he's not good.
Jumping and forces out the Vel'koz, goes golden, survives for a moment, and actually, nope, will not survive. There's that Living Shadow, drops the Q. That is a quick 3 kills for Jade Kronlocxs on the bottom side.
Meanwhile,
top lane turret gonna be secured by the Yorick, who's still split pushing, as Intra trying to distract from some of these backs, drops his own ultimate, has to find a way to escape. Urgot just walks away. There's that ult one more time. I think that's a 3rd time in a row. Ulted the Kindred, torn her away from her own ultimate, and picks up that kill. Urgot now 9-1-2. That's actually a ridiculous stat line for this game.
Yep, hold on. We've got the Corki, who's actually doing really well this game. Doc Shocker just gonna fall. Otter's damage is too much. Got his hands on the Trinity Force as well. Oh yeah, the Magic Pin Boots. For those of you who don't know, Corki's passive converts 80% of the attack damage he does into magic damage. So buying Sork shoes on him is actually super cost effective. Meanwhile, we got a Baron, boys.
Started up with no one to contest. Jade Kronlocxs should be able to pick it up. The members of SurgarDaddy spread all across the map. No chance to contest. Kindred is on this top side. However, twice in a row has been ulted by that Urgot. Not looking forward to it again. So plays defensively for now. The Corki actually going to chase in. Might be able to steal away the blue buff. No, a nice smite from Intra will keep that blue buff for the side of SurgarDaddy. But even still, Baron to Jade Kronlocxs, and things are looking pretty rough for SurgarDaddy. They still have their second tier turret line as well as an exterior in the bottom side, but unless Yorick's got some crazy magic up his sleeves, I don't know that they have it in the bag to be able to win this game.
Yeah, I'm thinking, looking at these score lines right here, you've got 9, 1, and 2, 7, 4, and 5, and 8, 1, and 3 as your main carries. Hold on, we've got a 1v1 dive versus Doc Shocker, and the ult is going to pop, the ignite, and the burn is just going to be too much.
Nuan speeding himself up, comes in, doesn't find the slow, but flashes in to get the throw back onto Intra, uses the ultimate underneath the turret, but once again, Urgot's got a grinder down, really making spaghetti out of Intra on this Kindred. Now they can move in with the Baron buff onto this exterior turret as 3 members charred up by Caboose, trying to make the play for the team. The turret is still alive. Commander C goes golden, but only goes to his own death. 4 members pushing in as Echo Split pushing on the top side. Hero going to be dropped to about half, is able to survive for now, but Dive is just looking for an opportunity to go underneath this turret. Pops the Yumi's Ghost Blade, decides not to chase it in just outside of that Lux's E. They're going to continue to just take away these turrets with the Baron empowered minions, moving in onto an inhibitor turret on the top side as well. There's the dive, finishes off the Caitlyn, goes in with the ultimate, going to be trying to escape, has the shield as well, backs away, the turret shot makes it a trade, 2 for 1. Urgot takes away the bottom lane inhibitor turret, the inhibitor to fall as well, and now Doc Shocker finds himself in a different 1v1 against the Echo. He's been able to fight well against that before, but the rest of his base is falling apart. Vel'koz trying to poke out Caboose, who's just hopping away. Disintegration Ray only tickles the Urgot as they back away, having picked up 1 Nexus turret. Top lane inhibitor turret will fall. Inhibitor lined up next as Rakan going to join his teammate of the Echo. They got a lot of damage. Luxalt misses one more time, and that might be the end of the game. Juan dropped low. Ults the Urgot. Are you kidding me? However, he actually doesn't get the kill. Lux is able to finish him off before that is completed. Ace in the hole comes out, protected though by the rest of the team, and for now SurgarDaddy push off Jade Kronlocxs with their base in shambles.
Yeah, that's 1 inhibitor down, 1 inhibitor exposed. Hold on, we've got a 1v1 Intra versus Xeno, but Otter's there.
It's a 1v2.
Yeah, it's a 1v2. Even immortality can't make you strong enough to beat the 9-1 Corki, who now has a completed Infinity Edge on top of his other items. He's a full Trinity Force ahead of his opposite number, and that's 3,000. That's over 3,000 gold. Pretty insane.
If he had Daisy, that fight would have been different because it would have been a 2v2. I'm just saying. Just saying. Just kidding, actually. That doesn't count because Ivern is half a champion.
Yes.
Daisy does most of the work for him. Lux coming in. Might try to steal away the Infernal Drake. Nope, it's already gone. Second Infernal to Jade Kronlocxs, pushing 10,000 gold in the lead. They're about 9,000 at the moment. They've got open inhibitors on the top side. It's just this mid lane inhibitor turret, the only one left. Intra jumping forward, going to be ulted by the Zed. Echoes here as well. The Kindred is gone. Vidi finally finds an ult onto one person. Zito obviously doesn't care too much about that. Caboose is here as well. Has the quickness. He's going to drop it, jump in, charm up the Vel'koz, gets the knock up as well. Huan is past the turret, tanking it up for his team as Caboose is continuing to shield members. Hero doing what he can to get a little bit of poke damage down, but only 2 items in and forced to buy the QSS. This is not looking good. Middle inhibitor going to fall. Top lane inhibitor going to fall as well. And that means there is just 1 Nexus turret left between SurgarDaddy and Jade Kronlocxs, picking up the victory this game. Caboose down to about 200 health. Ace in the hole comes out, blocked by the Urgot, but Vitae finds the kill with the ultimate. The final spark finally finds one. All 5 members of SurgarDaddy pushing the 3 of Jade Kronlocxs out. Echoes around the corner. They're going to re-engage, though. They're waiting for their ultimates to come back up. That's going to be Kindred. The disintegration ray comes out, but can't find the kill onto Dive. Even Ignite won't be enough to take this Zed down. Corki finds the kill onto Lux. Commander C going to drop because Corki's damage is getting absolutely insane. Dropping the rockets, dropping Hero, dropping everyone but the Yorick, and that will be game number 3, going over to Jade Kronlocxs in stellar fashion.
Yep, and isn't it appropriate that Cody wins the final game on Cody's birthday as Cody's team?
Right, exactly. His first his first League of Legends name is his team name, and will win game number 3. Good stuff across the board.
So, in summary, Cody beat Cody, beat Cody, beat Cody, beat Cody, beat Cody tonight.
I dig it. All right, let's do honorable mentions and MVPs.
So, for the losing side, SurgarDaddy, I want to give the honorable mention. I mean, I think actually he deserves the MVP. So I'm going to give the honorable mention over to Intra for his early game play. He was actually super impactful early game, but being against like one of the hardest counters to your champion is pretty rough. Urgot having the ability to completely neutralize the Kindred ultimate was really hard on him. Intra played very far forward, but he does deserve the honorable mention, if nothing for that really dope Dragon Steal. That was awesome. But top lane, I'm going to give the MVP over to Doc Shocker because his lane was the only one that wasn't super far ahead. Zeno having some real problems against the Yorick, and despite the fact that he doesn't have the best scoreline, did play that lane very well for himself. So, MVP, honorable mention, and shout out for Jade Kronlocxs.
Wait, you gave honorable mention to Intra and MVP to who?
No, I gave honorable mention to Indra, MVP to Doc Shocker on the top side.
Despite the 12 deaths on Kindred.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Because you remember his early game.
Yeah, his early game was nice, but he kept getting ulted over and over by Urgot.
I mean, he can't really do anything about that though. So if he doesn't have flash up, and if it's point blank range, I mean, gonna be pretty tough for him. Basically, I give MVPs and honorable mentions based on the player's individual either thought patterns or their ability to outplay something.
Yeah.
I was saying that my analysis on that, though, what I had said before, was that Intra being against one of the hardest counters to his champion was pretty difficult, but his early game impact with his ganks on top side as well, he did get caught out on one invade, but there were a couple of successful invades he did, as well as for the dope dragons.
That is very true. That is very true.
Yeah. But on the other side, I want to give the honorable mention. I feel like there's so many viable options, but I'm going to have to give a lot of shout-outs on this one. I want to give it to Cody for the honorable mention in the bot side because that was what got Otter off the ground. But I don't like leaving out Juan or Dive just feels wrong because they both did big work as well. Let's see. How did that play out? Yeah, I think... Okay, I'm going to have to give the honorable mention to Otter. Shout out to Cody, and MVP to... It's a toss-up between those two, but I'm going to have to give it to Dive because I feel like he did more for himself. And Juan was having a little bit of a problem in the early game. He got his feet under him in the late game. So final scorelines aren't necessarily the determining factor. But yeah, so I think Dive did more to actually affect the outcome of the game. Honorable mention to Otter, shout out to Cody, as well as shout out to Juan. I almost want to give the shout out to or the MVP to Cody because I know the shot calling was his, and the shot calling for Drift Squad was really good, but I can't prove that. So anyway.
All right. Well, I'm trying to check really quick on... I'm doing something weird. There we go. Fixed it. That's going to be your honorable mentions and MVPs. I completely agree. I think a lot of the Drift players were doing just fantastically. Looking at the score lines, you can see that. Even Cody, who could not flash or fail a flash flay, considering that he wasn't playing Thresh, was on the recon, but found some amazing quicknesses to get in 12 assists there. So that is going to be the last game of the night. However, I will still be hanging around playing some League of Legends games. The couple of you guys that wanted to play some, we're going to go ahead and raid a guy who's absolutely fantastically positive, as well as a really, really cool dude that I enjoy lurking on his channel. Super positive guy. He's still pushing for partner. So if you guys would do a huge honor and follow him. Before that, if you enjoyed this channel and you enjoyed what we were doing, go ahead and feel free to drop that follow on us as well. We will be back on Thursday with more free play games. Hope to see you guys there, and you can keep stacking up those honorable mentions and MVPs, and I'll do my best to figure out which bot will get the ability for you guys to bet on which team you think is going to win. We'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much, Wraith, for your casting.
Yep, and I'll see you next week.